Okay.
And we are live. What's going on, y'all? Welcome to my channel, Watch Your Mouth Reviews, where I'm going to give my honest review while trying to watch my mouth. I think I could do it this video. Honestly, I think I could do it. Because they don't irritate me as much, or this episode didn't irritate me as much as the prior season. So they really didn't do too much. But before I get into these ladies, I want to introduce my guest, my bestie. I have Mrs. Best, aka my girl Amina, in the building, y'all.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello, thugs.
My girl just celebrated her 30, is it 32nd or 33rd birthday?
31, damn it.
She didn't like me throw that extra year on her, but that's okay. That's okay. She is celebrated 31 years. So that is a blessing to anybody to get a year older. We want to wish her all of the Black
Yeah.
excellence and bestness of life. And if y'all really want to give her a good present, y'all make sure y'all subscribe to her channel. It is in the description box. Y'all
Thank
show
you.
my girl some love because I'm telling you, this is my ride or die, my partner in life. I promise you, she's always had my back. So,
And
you
I
know.
always will.
Oh, so let's get started with our review. We are reviewing Belle Collective. I decided to pick up this show because it is a show that I did watch and I did enjoy thoroughly first season and second season. So they're back for season number 3. So we're just going to pick up here. Amina just started watching it. I actually got her on it because she never seen it.
I love it. It's obsessive.
Absolutely. So for those of you who don't know the premise of the show, this is a Carlos King production. Um, Originally, oh, here echo. Lord, please tell my internet going out already. We just got here. But this is a Carlos King production show. Now, originally, the show premised around Jackson, Mississippi, and this specific street called Ferris Street. Now, Ferris Street, if you guys don't know your history, was actually a Black community in Mississippi, as you know, when we were segregated as a country in the 1930s and 40s. This was the place to go to get all of your African American necessities that you would not get in predominantly white neighborhoods. So this show actually was premised to revitalize that street and actually turn it into now another kind of Black Wall Street kind of being. And these women, along with some who have left the show, were trying to pivot this and make sure that this show and make sure that street did get revitalized. It is still not 3 seasons in. It is a little frustrating, a little irritating that it has not happened yet. So we're hoping this season they will. So let's introduce the ladies that we have on this cast. So in the center middle at the bottom, we have Mrs. Letitia Pearson. Counterclockwise, going to the left of her, we have Mrs. Tambra or Miss Tambra Cherie. Above her, we have Ikayla Colin. In the middle above Latrice, oh, sorry, in the middle above Letitia, we have Latrice. Oh, why is her last name slipping my mind here? Let me look at my notes. Uh, I think it's Latrice Rogers. Yeah, Latrice Rogers. No, damn it, I'm already messing up. We'll get back to Latrice. And the right of her, we have Mrs. Marie Monroe. And then at the bottom, we have So Gucci, aka Sophia Williams. I don't know why she don't want to go by her name, but you know what, whatever. So Gucci will. And let me see here. Belle Collective. Should have my notes ready, y'all. Sorry about that.
Notes keep you organized.
Latrice Rogers. I was right. Okay, Latrice Rogers. Yes, I got her. So we got all of these ladies. So all these ladies make up the fabulous Belle Collective. So now that we're gonna kind of go a little further back here, how did you enjoy season 1 and season 2 leading up to season 3 since you got to binge watch most of it?
It was cool. To be entirely honest, the show itself is entertaining, but none of the women are likable or trustworthy. Maybe a little bit of both. But, I liked it. I thought it was cool. The only one who annoyed me was Marie.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't really have much positive to say about her, and she needs to let go of the short hair.
So let me be honest with you. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I'm gonna keep it real with all y'all. This is what I do. This is called Watch Your Mouth Reviews. I'm gonna try to watch my mouth on this video because I need a video where I do. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I don't like Marie. I don't like Tambra. I don't like Akayla.
Oh,
I don't like. I'm gonna say I don't. Okay, let me kind of backpedal a little bit. I'm not gonna say I don't like Letitia, but I don't. It could go either way. On that depends on the episode.
Mm,
Latrice, I'm also like that as well. It can go one way or the other, unfortunately, because these are the two that
I
actually
agree.
started this. So Gucci, I feel like I don't have enough on her yet to really say that I like or dislike her yet. So I'm gonna put her in the like until she does something that I do not like this season. But as far as Akela, I know she's also new. She came last season. The reason why I don't like her and Tambra, at first I felt like there was this light skinned pit against the darker skinned women of the clique, and they actually made a big spectacle of that last season, and we kind of saw it, and it was really frustrating to me. So she may there is room for her to redeem herself for me. Like I may like her going into the season, I may not. So it just depends. But that's my like and dislikes. Are you surprised?
No.
All right. So let's go ahead and jump on this, very lackluster premiere episode that they had. So it actually opened up with Latrice. So Latrice is, with her husband and his grandchildren. And she was talking about how, she really did not want children. That was her storyline last season. So in this season, this is something that she is still battling. That she still not wanting children, but she has his grandchildren, which have been kind of something that may have her reconsider. I've also been in that situation myself, where I did not want children. I was very dead set on not wanting children. I was like, you know what, I am fine. You meet somebody and they kind of change your perspective of like, yeah, I think I can do it. So I understand where she is saying. But the issue ain't even the kids. The
It's
issue
not.
is this little manager of her salon shop, whatever you want to call whatever it is.
Josh.
Josh, or as the TV said, Josh. Now, Joshy is staying with her because at Jackson at the time, I don't know if this has been
It
resolved or
is
not.
still going on, which shows how little people give a fuck about Black people. Had to say it. I have family in Mississippi, so I know how
So
that really impacts them.
I said I was going to watch my mouth. She can cuss for me.
Oh, oh.
So you know what? Hey, she can cuss for me because I'm going to do my best unless something reminds me of why I don't need to watch my mouth. But what I'm going to say about this is that he instantly, as soon as he walked in the room, came with negative energy, talking about Josh. And when Cliff and Latrice are in the kitchen, talking and everything, he takes this moment of opportunity to kind of point out Cliff's misogyny. Now, Cliff has been misogynistic this entire time that
Yeah.
this show has been on has been
Yes.
airing. So why Josh, as a guest in their home, took it upon himself to insert his opinions and get into an argument of this man's house was simply beyond me. Amina, can you tell me what was your opinion of Josh
Look,
explosion that he did?
I say the same thing whenever stuff comes up about marriage, even though I think this marriage is bullshit. But I say the same thing. Like when it comes to Josh, that's literally my notes say Josh, STFU about their marriage, get out of their marriage. I understand what it's like to have a friend in a situation that obviously is not healthy, that they're obviously not happy in. I get that. But your friend is an adult. I feel like Latrice chose to be with him anyway. It probably has her own little reasons. So I definitely feel like, and then separate from the friendship, why are you rocking the boat of the people giving you somewhere to stay?
Okay, if that was me, girl, you know how to shut my mouth, and that's a big old house. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna shut my mouth, take the free rent, hot water, probably some
Clean
food,
water.
and yes, I'm not finna say nothing.
Yeah. So I felt like
They wouldn't even know I was in the house. That's how
I feel
quiet
like
I would have been.
you need to check your friends on your marriage, but at the same time, I don't feel like you should employ your friends. Like I feel like that
Mm.
makes it a little tricky because he's an employee and a friend. So
Yeah, I feel that way too, unless it was like a business partner situation.
yeah,
So if we were a business partner, we just happen to be friends. I think that that's a different thing. I think, yeah, she chose to employ her friend, and he's just getting way too involved and self-entitled into her marriage. And I didn't like that at all. I was so when they were in the conversation in the room having the conversation, because she pretty much announced that her and her husband are not in the same bedroom, which leads me to believe it's something that has happened that they have not outed yet, which we'll get into at the end of the episode because I kind of saw something that kind of triggered me a little bit about them too.
It triggered
But
everybody.
yeah, it did. But it kind of makes me feel like something else has happened that Latrice does not want out about him, because she keeps talking about how much she loves him and how much she wants to be with him, how she can't see herself without anybody else or see herself with anybody else but him. And it just makes me want to look at her and go, Latrice, seek therapy. I am so sick of you. Sick because we have been dealing with this since season one
Mhm.
of this codependency. Oh my God, I never had a daddy, and I married this man who was 20 years older, and all this. I'm so sick of hearing this from her. I want
Is
her to
he
get some
only 20
therapy.
years older than her?
I believe it's like 20 to 25 years. It's like somewhere around that.
Oh
So
my.
there's a lot of age difference between those two.
Mm.
So it irritates me watching that scene with Josh, and then watching Latrice, playing mind games with herself because she has to talk herself into being in this marriage, which really is so frustrating to me. I don't
Yeah.
think you should ever have to talk yourself into being in something that you know is not healthy for you.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. The marriage, obviously she's not happy.
Obviously.
It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. So I don't
What do
know.
you think?
Is
What do you
he
think she
like
should do?
leave? You don't. First of
So you
all,
don't think this marriage has any type of like redeeming factors to it whatsoever?
no, because they shouldn't have got married in the first damn place. I mean, I don't know much about the show. I'm new, but I get the feeling he intentionally got with the younger girl for the control. But
Hmm.
I could be wrong.
Absolutely. So we can go ahead and move on from them because we're going to come back to them at the end of this video. So we're going to go ahead and move it on to Miss Letitia Pearson. Every time she got go on this camera, I'm a boss. I got this business. I got all these different factors. But my marriage is just in a disarray. So I moved back in the house with Glenn because, we worked everything out. But then Glenn got back on social media. It started being inappropriate again. So now I'm here to go pick up our baby because I'm not at the house. I'm going to go get my own place. Letitia, I am so sick of this. I am so sick of
We
this.
don't care.
I need you to come up with something else.
We
I
don't.
need you to come up with something else. I do not care about Glenn, this marriage, and his cheating. Because at some point you were okay with it until you got on national TV. So
Yeah, and they still bumping uglies.
yeah,
So like,
so
you want us to hate this person that you're still willing to bust it ride and spread it low for. So that's my whole thing. I just got the feeling she gonna drag it for the whole season.
I feel like this is gonna be another Kenya situation with Mark, where she is dragging this on for 5 seasons. We don't care that much.
Right. Just
Like,
get a divorce, stay with him, pick something, choose a lane, and go from there.
yeah,
Because
like we not gonna be going through all this with you. Like, I'm
yeah,
not gonna go through this with her, and all this
she kept
situation.
speaking about a woman of her caliber needs and a woman of her caliber when referring to her marriage. And I'm just like, you really sound dumb, sis, because first of all, caliber of what? Of what? What a woman of what caliber? Because so far, what I've seen from what Letitia's given on this show is like a woman who cares a lot about what other people think, don't know what she wants, and flip flops. However, I am new, but I did binge watch, and that's what I got from Letitia. So some of the comments she made, I was like, maybe that's a little issue in your marriage, separate from the cheating. Like if you walking around your relationship talking about I'm a woman of this caliber and you did this and I'm a boss and this and that. Well, obviously he didn't feel you was so much of a boss that he needed to stay faithful to you. So it doesn't change the fact that you're a boss and you have all these things. But I just feel like going around egging yourself up, speaking about yourself in such a cocky way all the time. I just get the feeling she may be like that in the marriage. But
I get that too. And see, and that's my whole thing about Letitia as well, is that I feel like in a sense, she doesn't want to let him go because she don't want to see him with nobody else.
that's what it seems like.
And
Yeah.
then and then another part of it is I get that from him too. He don't want to see her with nobody else. But I feel like when they divorce, if there were to be a divorce, she's not going anywhere. She gonna wait until that boy is grown.
If
And
the
then that's what
cameras weren't here, if the cameras weren't here, she'd probably still stay with him. It seems
right.
like their cycle. Like this is what they do. And I get the feeling he kind of is used to it and likes it a little bit. Like the toxic cycle. I cheat, she get mad, then we have all this sex, but I gotta move out. It just seems like something that they're used to and that he might enjoy. So
Hmm. So I just feel like, you know what, Letitia, whatever works for you, fine. But when you're on national TV, this cannot be a situation where you're
no.
bringing us season after season after season. We are tired of hearing about this marriage. We want you to pick up with Ferris Street, like you said in the beginning episode of the first season, episode 1. Where is that? Where are the proposals? Where is the city councilmen? Where is all of this?
I feel like the own shows that I've been watching, like Belle Collective and what is that show with Martell? Why can't I? I'm
Love and
tired.
Marriage Huntsville.
Yeah, they have a the show's supposed to be about them doing things for the community, but they get on TV and then I feel like they're like, oh, let me just egg this on for a little more because it's more interesting. Like, let's keep it real. The stuff that they're doing for the community doesn't always make for good television for everyone because you're not going to be acting a fool as you're trying to do something for the Black community. You're just not. Yeah.
Exactly my
So
point.
don't go and act an entire fool. I just feel like with Letitia, I feel like producers may keep her just because her situation is relatable a little bit. There's a lot of people in these, oh, he cheated, we're broken up, but we still kind of talk type of situations. But it's not just because something's relatable doesn't mean I want to see it on my television screen. So that's where I stand with that.
Right, me too. I want to see something so different. So speaking of something that ain't so different, we have Tambra Cherie and her storyline, which is going to be Damon. So her and Damon have officially moved in together. They've been staying together a couple of months. So Tambra then throws down this curveball, which we're trying to figure out how did we even get here in the first place. She wants her space. I said, I had to rewind that. I said, wait, did I miss something?
The
What?
dumbest, most insignificant, like, just story to me. Like, you
First of all,
have
Tambra Braxton, shout out to Yocrates, Eric Urel. Oh. Tambra Braxton gets on my nerves. She does. She gets on my nerves because she's so animated and I want to like her,
but you
but I can't because it's just like I could see it. I'm like, ma'am, like, what is you doing?
yeah, her name also stresses me out.
Tambra.
Tambra. I think of Tampa, Florida, every time I hear it.
But no,
Tampa, Tampa, Alhambra water. I just don't
all the
like
things, like I just feel like I want her to stop. I want
it.
Tambra to stop because this relationship does not seem real. No matter what you throw in our face, it does not seem real. And if it is real, what did he do?
Look, that's what I'm like, sis, you need your own space, right?
What did
When she
Damon
said
do?
she needs her own space, when she introduced that, like, to the conversation, I was like, okay, because I know some couples, like my husband, we want to move out of our apartment, we need more space if we don't have no kids or nothing. So I'm thinking it's like that, like maybe she wants an office or a little girl cave, like men's have man caves. This heifer went and said, no, when I say space, I'm talking about like my own condo. Here's the part that was weird for me. You talk about, from what I got from what I watched, you want a ring and to find a happily ever after and to be a boss or whatever. That's respectable, commendable. I can understand that. But how the hell do you women expect to get a ring from a man while you asking him so shortly after moving in together that if you can get your own apartment? I call you know what on that, because if that man was like, well, nothing's happened in the relationship, everything's going well, but I need some space, so I need to get my own apartment across town. It remind me of Kirk on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta when he got his apartment across town.
Right. And
I'm like, if I
it's like
tell my
Tamra.
husband I need space and then go buy an apartment across town, what you doing in that space? That don't look right.
Right. Are you together or are you not? Is what we going, is what we getting at, Tamra. Are y'all together or are you not?
And
Because
that
I don't
might be why she's
understand. I don't understand how the first season I had to hear this every episode with her. My eggs, it's my eggs. My eggs, it's my eggs. I got this eggs. We had to hear that the entire first season. And then the second season, demand and I, demand and demand would never cheat on me, demand. And I'm like, Tamra, I am so sick of you.
and he hasn't done anything. That's what I noticed in this episode. I'm like, he needs space.
No, he did something.
Why?
She's just not saying. So
Well, if
it
you're
leads
not
me to
gonna say it,
believe
then shut
those.
up about it.
It leads me to believe that there was some truth in that season 2 debacle with him and Letitia Homegirl. I forgot her name already because it was some crazy old goofy name. But it leads me to believe that there may be some truth. If it's not with her, then it's with somebody else up in Jackson, Mississippi that he's not saying, because there's no way how we go from us moving in together, us trying to get married, to now I need my own space. It means that you know of something that he did that you was holding on to and wait for him to tell you, or you really not that into him in the first place.
I feel like if you need space to where you have to move out of a household when you're in a relationship where you've been living together, then you should probably maybe
They
actually
haven't even been living
separate.
together that long. They've been living for a couple of months. This is a couple of months.
Exactly. But even so, after what is it, like 3 months, they said you need to go get a separate household. Just like when I think of space, I'm like, let me go to the park. Let me go do something
No,
with
because I get where you coming from, because we're in that same boat too. Like
what the hell?
I need a studio. I really do. I need a complete studio and like a whole green screen room. I need all of that. And I totally get where you're coming from, but that we can't get it right now. So we have to wait until time allows us to get it. Tampa is talking about needing space for what exactly?
Exactly. Yeah.
And then they got onto this argument where, he's always gone. So it's like, well, then what do you need space for?
Yes. You know
What
what?
do you need space for if he's always gone?
He's never around.
Yeah, it's like Tampa cut it. Like, what did he do?
I
Is the
don't
question.
understand her purpose on this show. She's the one person who I was just like struggling to understand their purpose on the show.
It's because with Carlos banked on, because she's on Dish Nation. That's what Carlos banked on, that she would be the socialite that would arrange, when really it was Letitia who was the common denominator between, because Letitia knew all of the women.
Huh.
So that's where Carlos messed up. So he just kind of kept her. So it was like,
I'm tired of him hosting reunions and stuff too.
Yeah, like
Carlos King needs to like do less with, like, we don't need to see your face.
No, he's a casting director.
He does, and I don't want to see his face. Like, you're doing great things as a
We're
producer.
proud of you. We're proud of you, black man. But honestly, your presence is not.
We don't want to see you. At all.
Okay.
Oh, not even a little bit, Carlos.
So I got Latrice, got Letitia, got Tambra. So we're gonna move on to Akeisha and Soguchi, because it was very interesting that these two became friends. As I just said, there was some colorism issues that, kind of was amongst this group silently. It wasn't like it was blatant. It was very silent. But we saw, them bring up how Akeisha said that all the other women were ugly, except for her and Tambra. So Gucci was shocked that they actually were we're getting along and becoming close. And then a conversation comes up about Tambra. And she says that I've known Tambra 20 years, and I never thought that, she would lie to me or she would be like this towards me on the show. And I looked at the TV, and this is why I can't take Akeisha seriously. I said, you and Tambra is one and the same. You and Tambra is one and the same. Let me explain why they're one and the same. The same way you didn't think Tambra was going to do that to you, she thought you were going to do that to her last season, where she was going to call you out and she didn't want you on this show because you were gonna let out all them secrets that she's trying to keep hidden. Whatever Tambra's trying to keep hidden, you know about it, and she was trying to ice you to make sure you didn't do it. So y'all don't want the same to me. I don't see any difference between you and Tambra, personally, Akeisha. But what I will say is that yes, Tambra moves funny, but you did too when it came to Letitia and this whole Fair Street situation. The fact that you owned a property on Fair Street, had it dilapidated, and then when Letitia is trying to get moves on the street, you tried to sun her last season. So I'm still not over that. I'm not over that because to me, I feel like if this is an historical black mark, you own, like, let's say, Amina, you own land on a historical black mark, and you know that I'm trying to revamp this street to make it to one like what it once was. I have some backing. I don't have everything. You own the building. You know this is what I'm trying to do. Don't you feel like there's some sort of, you know, not necessarily loyalty, but some sort of like affiliation you should have with wanting to revamp the building that you own outright?
Yeah.
Like, I just don't understand her. I don't understand Akeisha. I don't. Like, I felt like to me, it was very troubling to hear her say, I own the property, I'm going to do it, and I'm gonna get it done. Unlike Letitia. That's what she wanted to say. She just didn't say it that way.
Yeah, I don't really Letitia, I don't really care for her like at all. So I feel like a lot of what she says and does will be shady. As for I Keisha, am I
Yeah.
saying her name right? Okay. I don't know why I want to say Ikela because my husband
Right.
was with someone named that, I think, and it makes me want to say that. Anywho, but as for her, I don't know. She annoyed me also, just as a whole. Like, seemed like she was acting like she didn't really have help with kids. She says that she's known Tambra for what, 20 plus years or something.
35.
Yeah, like something long.
She wants. She ain't. They neither one of them is gonna tell the truth about their age. So that's what I gather. Neither one of them is gonna tell the truth about their age. Ain't no way in the hell Tamara only 40 years old. I don't bit more believe that more than I'm
No.
sitting over here being. That's like saying I'm 22.
It's like it's obvious this is not. Yeah, I don't know. Those I just didn't. We'll see as the season goes on. This was a strange first episode, specifically because of that interaction with them, but it is what it is. I
Mm-hmm.
just don't like I just really don't like Aikisha. I can't figure out
I
why.
don't like her either, and I said this. She's not likable at all, and since you brought up her husband and that child situation, because I thought that was weird as well, because he seemed like, because last season, if you guys watched last season, he was very adamant about them staying in New Jersey, and she wanted to come down there and be, a part of this show because when she heard there was a show in Jackson and its affiliation with her owning the building on Fair Street, she thought this was supposed to be her opportunity. So I'm starting to think that her and her husband are separated.
Yeah, because she was acting like she don't have help with her kids and stuff.
Yeah, so
I was
something was
like,
weird. Yeah, some was weird. They didn't really divulge into it. Maybe we'll learn more as the time goes on, or maybe she'll distract us like Tambra does. I don't know. But what I'm gonna say is this: I I don't understand her being on the show. I just don't, and
yeah.
it's just she's
Akeisha's
a
the
mystery.
one of everybody, and I guess you call it a collective, who to me just did not. I don't know. She doesn't go with it at all. I don't think she really gives a damn about like the property or Black history,
No, she doesn't. See,
any of
this
it.
for her to gloat. That's what this was, and
Yeah.
that's why I'm saying because if she wanted it done, she would have had it done way before Letitia did.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm just saying yeah, missed me with that. So we go over to Soguchi and JJ's his name. I do not know this man's name. I keep
Yes, JJ. I'm familiar with them. They were on Lifetime's reality show Bring It, which
mm-hmm.
highlighted the dancing dolls. It was in Jackson, Mississippi. Sunjay, and they have twins, Star and Sky, I believe. Are
Those
you
are
saying
his daughters, right? Yeah, I think
those are
those are his.
his daughters? Yeah. So
Yeah.
I had seen So Gucci on there a little bit. I saw her and heard of JJ. That's just his personality. He crazy as hell. I don't understand why he was dancing around on my screen in that apron with no shirt, a belly that looked
I
like
was
he was
like,
about 6 months into a pregnancy,
when I tell you
and
I was about
the
to fast forward
hairstyle
this
of
scene. Let me
the
tell you what's
hairstyle of a 5-year-old mixed race African American girl in the hood. I just did not
right.
understand that.
When I tell you I was gonna fast forward this scene up until, I mean, we have the update. So Gucci's daughter just had her baby. She has moved out. We are happy for her because that was a huge issue as well in the second season. So we're happy to hear the baby is beautiful. They're having dinner and they're empty nester now. And see, that's just it's so funny to see couples being empty nesters because they do one of two things. They either become very awkward with each other and not know exactly where to go, or they get a divorce. So
Yeah,
it's kind of like it was interesting to see the dynamic. But here's what cracked me up when he said his mama's gonna move in. Now, when he said that, I was like, so you not gonna ask this lady if
I believe
your
his
mama could
mom was an
move?
issue in his previous relationship also.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
read that somewhere. Yeah, I was like,
She was like, I love him, but I just couldn't deal with his mama. I remember his ex, the mother of his kids, saying
mhm.
that. So I'm like, but he's a child in a man's body.
Right. And see, and it leads me to believe, like, is this an unhealthy relationship you have with your mama?
There's a lot
Or
of men out there that have unhealthy
unhealthy,
relationships
and
with
it's
their
caused by,
mamas.
and a lot of times it's caused by the mama. Because a
Yeah.
lot of times these mama raise these men to be the men they wish they had. And see,
Mhm.
and that's kind of, you don't understand,
Mhm.
that's short sighted because that's only conditioned to you. That's not conditioned to anybody he then goes out to date. That's why we have a lot of trouble with abusive relationships, is because
Mhm.
moms raise their children to be upstanding gentlemen towards them, and it only applies to you. So it leads me to believe with JJ in this situation that that mother has a lot of control.
Mhm. That should be interesting. I did think
So
So Gucci and JJ's relationship was interesting, more so than Akeisha and Willie. It seemed like their relationship will actually show some little things. Empty nesters, like you said, because of the direction it goes. Seeing that on TV, in my opinion, is good and relatable for some going through it. I honestly just don't fully understand their dynamic, like, is a relationship as whole, but I don't know. He just so damn goofy. I was just looking at that
yeah, he's
hair and
hard to
that
read. I
stomach,
was, yeah.
that taco meat on his chest. It was all just stressing me out. It was. I told my husband, I said, look at this. Look at this shit, babe. Why is this man? And then I realized after watching, I was like, oh, that's JJ from. He always been, something is wrong with him, but in a good way. I love JJ,
Yeah,
I do. But
crazy,
I don't.
crazy,
Why does
crazy.
she go by So Gucci? Because when I saw her on previous shows, she was going by the name that
Sophia.
her mother gave
I
her.
don't understand. I don't understand either. Like, I'm gonna call her Sophia. So I know I skipped it with the conversation with Akeisha because I wanted to get Akeisha out of my way because I didn't want any of the issues with that because I understand I brought up Tambra. But so Gucci's issue with Latrice is that she was trying to get Latrice this commercial building,
Mm.
and it took a long time. So while we into this, let's go ahead and move on to Latrice. Latrice is now in half of her beauty lab, weave store, whatever it is. So it's supposed to be. So she's supposed to have this two-story commercial building, and now it's only in a subsection. She's delivering her own products to customers and everything. And when Gucci said that it was Latrice who kind of didn't like the building that she found her, but then kind of skirted on and found another realtor and got another building. And so Gucci feels slighted because she thought they were building this friendship.
Girl, bye. Is business and friendship is friendship. The two are separate.
Absolutely. Okay, so I felt like that too. I felt like, is that really a reason to be
I'm
mad at
not gonna
somebody?
wait and have my business and the way that I deal with my business to be impacted in a way that makes it more difficult for me to deal with my business because you won't move at the correct time. Just that's the problem. Friends, when they do business, it seems like they expect to get these allowances that they know that no other client would be okay with. Let's keep it real. So she went
Right.
ahead and did what she had to do with a different realtor, which leads me to believe that the realtor she was trying to work with, her friend, what kind of realtor are you? Because if somebody else came in and got the job done like that, why the hell couldn't you? But you're mad at your friend for going to someone else, but you're not mad at yourself for not doing your job. That's
Right, and you're
how I
supposed to be
feel.
the number one realtor in Jackson right now.
But you take this long?
Yeah, exactly.
Busier realtors, and that's the thing too, because this is Jackson, Mississippi. Like a good population of the Black community in Mississippi is there in Jackson. This is their biggest city in that state, but this is a state that doesn't have very many people and doesn't. It's just weird to me. Like these women kind of at times act like they're as busy as like women on a show like The Housewives or something. Y'all not as busy as them. Y'all are not that damn busy. So don't make it seem like you couldn't get this done. I just felt like, as for the realtor in the situation, I can't remember her name because the cast is new, but the person who was supposed to sell her the property originally, like the hell, like what did you want from her? What took so long? Was she supposed to wait on
So
you
yeah,
and suffer longer?
that's where So Gucci, that's where I'm getting kind of leaning more towards Latrice's side of it,
Mm-hmm.
because So Gucci, like, I don't understand, like, what was the issue with why she couldn't get the property you were showing her, because you only showed her one property. So what was the issue with that property? Was it the
Because she was
wrong
able, because I
location?
know with an approval on a property, loan wise, an approval is usually the approval in dollar amount. So you can take, like, why couldn't it
I
just
don't
doesn't
even
make
think
sense?
I didn't think it was the approval. I just think it was something with the property. Like, I think that that's what it really was. I don't think they just, to me, it doesn't, correlate. That's why I'm saying they're leaving something out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's obviously leaving something out. So maybe we'll get to it. So let's go ahead and go move on to, so Gucci showing Latrice this house that she ain't gonna buy, that we know she not gonna buy. So,
The fans need to rebel and call this woman Sophia. Like, this is stupid that I have to refer to somebody by the name of So Gucci. Is you a rapper, sis? Are you an entertainer? Because there's no reason for you to be going. Is that what you put when you sign your deals in real estate? Do you sign So Gucci? Or are you signing Sophia? I just hate when Black people do that. It's like you get a little bit of money, you come up from nothing, and then labels,
Mhm.
titles, like brands become a thing to where your nickname is So Gucci. That's so corny
Absolutely.
and ignorant.
So we actually get to see Marie in this little scene. I was kind of like, okay, Marie, she back to, that little short, little S curl she be rocking. I'm
Her
okay with
finger
it.
waves, her
Yeah,
perm
little
finger waves.
perm. Yeah, it was like, I'm whatever, Marie. She lets us know that, she's still helping her son with his, children, especially the young man, little boy whose mother was killed last year. It was very sad. So I'm gonna take it easy on Marie when it comes to that, because had I started season one the way, I would have got Marie together, y'all. Because I'm not one of those people who believes in letting your mom interfere in raising and helping you raise children. I'm not one of those people. I believe in a village, but see, my definition of village is babysitting for 1 or 2 hours while I go and do this, or daycare is not available this day. Can you watch them while I'm at work, and then I'm gonna come get them? Right. That's what I figure. These grandmothers and grandparents are taking these kids for days at a time.
That's why people is stupid enough to be having kids when they still living with their
Hmm.
mama and grandparents. I
Yes.
never, especially here in California, I never understand that. It's expensive as hell. People live in their house with their parents in their apartment that they grew up
So
in
let me
and
explain something
decide
about
to
my
have
mama. Because
kids.
see, my mama is built different than these mamas out here. My mom would not dare take my children. My mom would say, "Okay, I have the baby. When you coming back? Oh no, that's too
Right.
long. Take this baby.
I
Take that
need a
baby."
time. I need to know where you going. Cause that's my look. Shout out to your mama.
My mama's
Cause
one. My mama's one. My mom would not even dare take no child. Like, she'll take. My mom was probably, when she does, because she's not a grandmother yet, but when she does become one, my mom may have the baby for a weekend once every 2 months
yeah,
at
yeah,
most.
yeah.
My mom is not going to be all up in this baby, taking these babies from us. If something were to happen to us, absolutely she would step in. But my mom is not one of those moms like that
My
would just
mom made
have the
that very clear
babies.
too. She's what she used to say. I already raised my kids.
Yeah, exactly. I raised my children. I'm done.
Try to
This your
raise
baby.
yours.
Come get this baby. I actually knew a lady who called CPS on her son. I worked with her at USPS. because the son was being ignorant and leaving his baby with her for like, I think it was like 5 days.
I know some people who I should have called CPS on for how they raising their doggone
Yeah,
kids. You
yeah.
should not just be
So
dropping your kids off at whatever family members available so you could go get drunk and sit on multiple dicks.
right,
And I know
exactly.
a lot of people my age, fully grown, doing that. I just
That is crazy. That is crazy to me.
look.
Absolutely insane that that's what we doing and we still doing this. It just goes to show you, like,
I
so
get it. They don't want to make the child suffer, and Latrice's,
that's not suffering.
you know,
Marie,
or
that's
Matrice
not
Marie. Oh Lord,
yeah, Marie, that's not suffering. He needs to
yeah.
figure it out. Your
Mhm.
son need to be at Costco or Sam's Club driving one of them forklifts and lifting front and getting some benefits.
They have great benefits.
They have great benefits. They
Costco's
have
one of
and
their
a
best
great salary. He can
employers.
take care of all them kids. They even, I think Costco even got a daycare program, if I'm
How
not
many
mistaken.
kids does her son have? Because
Yeah, he has. Okay, so like I said,
I'm
so
new.
her son he had 3 kids in one summer. He had three different
One
girls pregnant.
summer,
He had 3 different girls pregnant at the same time. So his 3 of his kids are all the same age
he had 3 people pregnant at once,
at
and they
one
all
time.
decided to keep the baby.
Hmm?
So her son and the women are dumb. Noted.
Yeah, yeah. He had 3. Yeah, they're all the same. All the kids are the exact same age. I think they're only spread apart by a couple of months. That's why I said if I had reviewed this show season 1, Marie would have got dragged because there's absolutely no way. And she goes, "Well, he could play basketball, so I'm just gonna support him, and I have the money. I'm a billionaire. I can do that." That's not the point.
That's where generational wealth ends.
Yeah, that's not the point. The point is that as long as you continue to do that, he's gonna continue to go out there and have
There's
babies.
no
Mind you,
reason to
her son
change.
is like at the most 25 because he was 21 when he had those kids, and one of the girls was underage. I caught that, Carlos. I caught that. That one when she had all them baby mamas at the house saying, "I can't do all this," because Marie has lupus and something else.
Mhm.
And I caught when that girl, it said that girl was 18 having that baby. Said that means he was messing with that girl
When she was
when
17.
she was 17,
And as a
underage, and he's
21-year
21.
old, you
Yeah,
should not be dealing with people in high school still.
exactly.
That means you
That's
have to
yeah.
go up to the school to
Hmm.
look for this person, because if you're 21 and somebody else is 17, that means you have been out of high school for many years. You shouldn't even have the same peers.
Right.
So yeah, that was definitely a good catch on your part. Latrice,
Absolutely.
speaking of her lupus, it's like, why do you want to put all of this extra stuff on you when lupus, this stress could impact you and your
You talking
ability?
about Marie? You keep saying the
Yeah,
truth.
I keep saying Latrice because I don't like the two of them, and I know they have their own little stupid beef that's been going for seasons.
I'm
Uh,
not even going to address that this season,
it's stupid
this
and
episode,
pointless.
because for Marie to say, "I told you she was a snake," it's like, Marie, you started with that girl first.
Hmm. She need to stop calling other people snakes and teach her son to control his snake. That's how I feel. Sorry, your face. I just thought of it, but he's 25 with 3 kids that are all the same age. Are you worried about other snakes? You need to go worry about your child's snake. Teach him to have his snake slide into the home of a goddamn Magnum, Trojan, something. Like, I don't understand any of it, but
I don't understand it either. Like, and I said he needed to be at Costco or Sam's Club driving
mhm,
one of them forklifts, and
mhm.
forget all that because he goes to school. I think it's like 4 or 5 hours away. So it's like, oh no, 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 no. You ain't going to no school.
What's the
You go to
point
school
going
on
to
your own. You
school?
go to school on your own time. You gotta get you a full-time job. That's why I said go to Costco, Sam's Club. I know it's in Mississippi. Y'all take. I'm not gonna see. That's the problem with these parents these days. They have these pipe dreams that they're trying to live throughout their children instead of
Mhm,
just teaching them to be responsible adults and how to
mhm,
get. Because you know what, if it's meant to be yours, it doesn't matter how old you get, it will be yours. So that's
mhm.
where I need parents to start instilling in their children. If you want to mess up your life, I cannot correct it for you. So there it
That's up to
is.
you to fix. Yes.
Exactly.
Oh,
So we was talking about Letitia buying this house, and I got on Marie. I guess because she was in the scene, so we might
yeah.
as well talk about Marie. But that was all Letitia knew she wasn't buying that house. Anyways, now moving on to the last. last scene of the episode because I wanted to get through this video. This whole Latrice going out and her husband popping up at the bar. I just don't understand Latrice. I don't understand Latrice and this subservient little girl that she falls into.
She
When it
said
comes to
herself verbatim. I wrote it down. My husband, sometimes he thinks I'm his daughter. He treats me like I'm his daughter. Like, sis, are you hearing yourself right now? He treats you like
his daughter.
you feel like your man's daughter? Bruh, that's weird. That's hella weird.
Like, Latrice, I need you to be in somebody's counseling office and get control of these daddy issues.
Not just a counselor, a doctor of counseling. Like
she needed a whole staff. She got the money. She need a whole line. Like, I've had more than one therapist at one time. So she need a whole line of, like, she need to see somebody Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Right.
So she can, definitely tackle these issues, because I heard her say that too. And I was like, oh my God. Like, what are you even doing?
My heart kind of felt for her a little bit, just because I know, like, I don't even know where to start. The whole situation, I could tell she was embarrassed, but the way that she handled his abuse, we call spades here, okay? Mm-hmm. The way she handled his abuse showed that she's used to that. And someone new to the show, I'm like, whoa, like, I don't like your personality or really any of the women on this show too much, but no one deserves that. He called her a bitch.
Yes.
I'm like, wait.
And the way he had his finger in her face and stuff, I thought he was gonna hit her. That's why I was like, well,
I think he would have smacked that ass up if there were no cameras.
Allegedly. I don't want this man coming on this channel.
I mean, it's a thought. If I say I think,
Yeah, I know, but we gotta protect ourselves. We young and up and coming.
The way he is, look, allegedly, my education tells me that him is abusive in some way. I can't say if it's physical. I know for sure
it's definitely emotional and mental abuse. There's definitely no one can go throughout this entire show and say that he has not been emotionally and mentally and manipulated this girl into this lifestyle. No one can go.
He is awful. He looked like Smokey Robinson if he was to become an alcoholic.
Girl, no, I said Terrence Howard, older brother, who tried to make it in acting before he did and just got it,
Never made it, so kept
never
drinking.
made it, so yeah, exactly.
Kept eating that Mississippi fried. He I really did not like that.
Pot roast, but that's okay.
Look, I didn't like it though, and that's
didn't either. And I wanted to and you just want to shake Latrice, and you like, why aren't you getting this? Like, I hope she takes a look at this and goes, oh no, I got to make some changes.
I think to some people though, what I've learned watching shows like this and just from life experience, to some people, it's more important. The benefits of a relationship or a marriage outweigh whatever else comes with it, abuse, like faithfulness.
But you're saying the benefits of this marriage, even though she's being abused, it looks better than being single. And
because people who are abused have a whole different way of thinking. So in her head, I feel like she definitely, I don't want to get into psychology or nothing, but she gives me somebody who might have been like sexually assaulted earlier in life. She definitely does. And the reason I say that so that people don't get all obnoxious is I'm a victim of sexual assault myself. And I know that at one point when I wasn't seeing a therapist and stuff, there were things that I would accept. My husband's not abusive, so I didn't have those problems, but there were things that I would accept from like friendships that could be volatile, and even exes before I got with my spouse, things that I would be okay with. Like I remember I had an ex from high school that I was like, bitch, you ain't never gonna be nothing. You might as well just stay with me. Don't nobody want nobody dark as you. Like I've had and dealt with some abuse. He used to smack me up and stuff. And I was just 16, 17. And at that time, I was dealing with sexual assault outside of that. So I feel like the way he's like, shit, the way that she's responding to it, it really did, even though she's an adult, remind me of like a 16-year-old me. And that's like not, it just is
Yeah.
very triggering. The
Yeah,
whole,
for her to be in her 30s dealing with this, it's like
and then it's an old man
yeah, and then that's
at
another thing.
that.
And then he's older playing
Yeah.
mind games with your head, and you not even like picking up on any of it, or you are, you just don't want to be alone. And if that's the
Mhm.
case, then you have more issues than you think. If you think that this
It's,
is better than being
I
alone.
think she knows something wrong in the marriage and knows that it's not
Yeah,
helping.
but
But
it's her response to it all.
hmm
It's her response to it all that makes me feel like, yes, she knows what's wrong, but she doesn't want to fix
and coming back to
herself.
Josh from that issue, I think that that is why he's so vocal. Like at
Oh, no,
first,
no,
I
no,
was
no.
like,
Josh is a scapegoat. Remember we talked about scapegoats in Martha's Vineyard? Y'all need to go to Mrs. Best Reviews, Best spelled with a 3, and talk. We talk about scapegoats all the time.
yeah,
Josh is a scapegoat. Like,
yeah.
let's not get that confused. That is a scapegoat. That is the mouthpiece that wants to say everything that Latrice is thinking.
hmm
But
He's
what
in
she's
that house,
doing,
and I think he's seeing and hearing things that we not seeing and hearing. And
and
if it's
see,
something that goes against someone's morals or ethics, which seeing anyone, even if you don't care about them, be abused, you're like, whoa, what the hell?
so
It's
Josh,
hard
what
to
I
not
needed
be
you to do
vocal.
is I needed you to start recording private conversations that you hear.
I would record their ass and start filing reports like I'm worried about my friend. I would
I'm worried
start
about her
even
safety.
in the house. Like I've been in the house with my friends, dude started to get violent. I can't fight that man. You know what I did? I don't give a damn how anybody feels about it. I called the police while right with her when they're arguing, not worried about me. Hi, my name is Kathleen. I'd like to get a wellness check. It sounds like my neighbors are fighting. And the police was there so fast. And then at the end, she's like, Amina, did you call the police? Absolutely. This man literally is dragging her downstairs.
Oh no, good.
I'm caught in front of me. If you doing that to you, I ain't trying to have him do something to me. And
Okay, I ain't next.
after
I'm
him,
not. This ain't no horror movie. He finna come after me. So yeah,
hello,
exactly.
officer. My name's Kathleen, concerned white woman. I'm hearing things. They came. I've never seen the police in Vallejo come that fast. I swear to God.
But you know, not make it so light and fun because this is
Mhm.
a very serious situation, you guys. We just want Latrice to do better.
She needs to do better and listen to
As
her friend.
beautiful as she is,
Hmm
and as smart as she is, to take a business with only $200 or $300 and turn it into that.
hmm
Yes, she needs to do better. She needs to think of herself more high because she really is the winner here, not
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, she
So
is.
that was pretty much it, you guys. It was a nice little soft video. I'm trying to, make sure these are a lot shorter, just so that way, people are more inclined to watch shorter videos. So we're trying to get that, broken up. The next video we're going to do on my channel, Watch Your Mouth Reviews, make sure you subscribe, is we're going to tackle in Real Housewives of Atlanta, which was a whole mess. So I am just ready to, get that video because I have some opinions. But this is Belle Collective. We're going to keep this, going. We may alter this video back and forth between Mrs. Best Reviews and my channel just because we don't know how our content is going to work.
Oh,
She's looking like, oh, I'm no,
I
keep
didn't
this
know.
on
I
your
was like,
channel.
oh my gosh.
We don't, because we are trying to make sure we keep the videos even between both our channels. So yeah, we're just gonna make sure we keep the videos even. We'll make sure everything
We
goes
could
well.
keep
But if
this on
not,
your channel.
oh, she said keep it on my channel, so it'll be on my channel. You
We
guys
could
get that.
alternate like Married to Medicine. I like coming here. I don't have to be in charge.
Y'all see what she's on, but y'all make sure y'all subscribe. She does music. See, we're the best of both worlds. I will be picking up movies. She'll be picking up music. And you see how this works? We're going to do it like this. We are a team. Even though we have separate channels, we are a team still. But you guys, thank you guys for coming. Once again, like, comment, subscribe to both our channels. You're not going to want to miss this. We do this every week, every Tuesday, and on subsequent Thursdays because we don't do this every Thursday.
Subsequent, so fancy.
All right, you guys, but take care, be safe, and most importantly, if you know something, say something. Have a good one, guys. Bye-bye.